On the walls inside the wrestling room at Wilkes University, names, banners, championships, all of it marking the history of one of the winningest Division III men's wrestling programs in the country. But for the first time, a new group of athletes are here on that very same mat, dreaming of seeing their names on these walls too.
Ever since the first day I looked at this room, I wanted women's names up on the wall.
Not someday, but now.
Yes!
Yes! This year, the Colonels launched their very first women's wrestling program. For these teammates, the moment is bigger than any match.
For me especially, having girls around me that kind of experience that unusuality that was women's wrestling helped me kind of figure it all out, and it helped me not feel as alone in the sport.
For years, girls who loved wrestling had to fight for their spot on the mat. And at many high schools, these young ladies were the first.
I really like being the first. I was the first in high school too. It's really exciting to, know that everybody's going to remember you as one of the people in the first year programs.
Girls wrestling is now one of the fastest growing high school sports in the country, and it's booming at the college level too. The NCAA made it official, recognizing women's wrestling as a championship sport for the 2025-2026 season, a moment many women have waited a lifetime for.
My brothers wrestled, so I wanted to basically carry on that legacy and to make something better for myself.
But growth doesn't mean the path to get here has been easy. For Alyssa McIntosh, finding the right school meant weighing the options of the right academic program, ROTC, and a hope that a wrestling program even existed.
Looking at the schools that had that available to me, not many of them had a women's wrestling team. And so I kind of came to terms with it. I was almost okay with not continuing my wrestling career outside of high school until Coach Lonslager reached out to me and the opportunity just kind of fell into my lap.
Director of Wrestling John Laudenslager has a long history here at Wilkes, even wrestling himself.
That would have been my first team, right here.
He's also the men's head coach, and he's making sure the future of the sport includes everyone. Equality in his programs means more than just sharing the mat.
That was super important to me that they get the same experience, which is kind of why we wouldn't have their own head coach. I do see them quite a bit, but I think, same budget. Same amount of time in the wrestling room as you want, and travel just like the guys.
That's not the case at every school. Even with the NCAA recognition, there's still work to be done. Right now, Division III wrestlers still compete against Division I athletes, programs with far more resources and scholarships, something many coaches say is part of the growing pains.
Our girls aren't on scholarship. They don't have some of the benefits that maybe a Division I program does. But they put the same amount of work in. They work very hard at their craft, and they want to be the best version of themselves as a wrestler.
But for these wrestlers, this season is more than wins and losses. It's about possibility.
A lot of us, we're kind of used to, being a first-year program, so it's kind of like just, normal to just take control and just keep on forging the path.
It seems pretty nerve-wracking and a little bit scary that we're kind of paving the way, and we're the first people to pave the way for next year's newcomers.
Proving there's room for them on this mat too, and one day soon on these same walls as well. Something
special. These are 15 awesome girls. They're going to set the foundation for lots of years of women's wrestling here at Wilkes, so super proud of them.
Melissa Steininger, Newswatch 16, Wilkes-Barre.